Done in the past is I'll actually take this forward, stick that on the next one, and this isn't like the safest way to do it, but it works.
Yeah, and then you jump on the
jack, and then you can jump on this, and when you jump, that's going to support you.
Okay.
It's not going to put a weird load on there. So just loose, not much more than that. We'll get them all.
Yeah.
So it's in park, but another thing that probably should have started is to set your park brake.
Okay.
Because it will still rock a little bit in park. But with the park brake set, it really can't move. And then you come over and it really doesn't, that part doesn't matter. But before you actually lift and pull the tire off, park brake should be set. Because park brake it'll rock a little bit between. So now that those are all loose, good block. So soft ground like this, you need something to spread the load.
Yeah.
If you stick this jack right in the dirt with a heavy truck like this, it'll just sink.
Yeah.
So then you come down here, we'll find a good spot to put that, and you want to try to get this as level as you can. Just gonna lay in the dirt. And you want to put that under a part of the axle. So this is control arm. This is the steering joint.
Yeah.
You don't want to do anything sloped or curved like this. Oh, sorry.
You're good.
But yeah, you want to pick somewhere solid part of the axle. If you can't find anywhere out here, you can come in here a little bit more. But the further in you go, the more it's going to lift on that side as well.
Yeah. Okay. So the best part is here the middle section.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm just digging this so that this sits a little bit flatter. And I missed. I got to go to the right just a little bit. And then on the top of this, there's threads. Because you've only got so many inches of hydraulics. So you want to save all that hydraulics for your lifting. So it's okay that this rocks a little bit that way. Because once we load it, it really can't move. We just don't want it somewhere that it can sink. You want to check to make sure this is a 6-ton jack, so that should lift 12,000 pounds. So that's plenty of jack for any 4 of these corners of this truck. So it should be good. So now that we're making contact, you just want to make sure we're center on the block, center on the axle. It's just a tiny little, circle cylinder on the end of that, so we just want to make sure that's in the center. You're about there. It's starting to come off the ground. So at any point, like this is all still safe. You can still be under here. It's not going to move. The tire's still on it. The tire's still going to catch it. So when we start pulling the tire off is when you got to start making sure
you're not under
it. Before we pull that tire off, I'm going to give it a good shake. Which is probably not the proper way, but that's what I like to do to check that nothing can shift on you. At this point, I want to make sure that's not going to fall off on me. And then if you've got kids and family, you just don't want anybody there bouncing around too much while the tire's off. So I'm confident about that. I think that's good. So now we start pulling lug nuts. Simplest way with the star wrench, you just grab this and just give it a good spin. And you get them to a point, you just do it by hand. Then from here, you're just going to grab that tire and start working it out. It's a heavy sucker. So see the top came out, and now I'm going to grab the bottom. Pull that bottom if it'll come. If it doesn't, I can lift it up a little bit more. Let's lift it just a hair more.
Okay.
Yeah, these tires are heavy, so you do everything you can to do less work.
How heavy is one?
I would guess almost 300 pounds. 250 probably, somewhere in there. Here we go. So once you get there, pull it out and pull it. So, I need to put that back on. Want to put it back on?
Yeah.
So feel that. I want you to feel how heavy that is. So the simplest way to do this is I like to kind of put it on its back edge and rock it.
Okay.
Just kind of walk it back in there. And then once you get it back in there, you might have to spin it, but that's the easiest way to get it back in there.
How close? Just
Keep
under.
going. You want to get it under so we can put the bottom under and just rotate the top up. So a little bit more. So get that bottom in just a little bit more.
Yeah. Ah,
There you go.
so easy. Okay. Cool.
And you go on one, and if it starts to bind up on you, you go across into the other side because it could bind, and you don't want to put a bind on stuff and start pulling stuff. So it's going nice and easy, then you're good. If it starts to get a little hard, go to the opposite side, and it'll pull on the other side too.
Okay.
Good. Okay. Lower this jack. Just loosen it. I just crack it slow. I mean, you can't hurt anything by going too fast, but.
So lefty. Oh, yeah, okay.
So you felt how tight these were pulling them off. We
Yeah.
essentially want to go that tight putting them back on. Lug nuts, I normally torque them to 100 foot-pounds. So 100 pounds on a 1 foot bar
Okay.
is what 100 foot-pound means.
Uh-huh.
Or a 12-inch bar, whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, something like this, I'll just crank on it. And I want you to feel how tight those are. And keep the star wrench level, because you can put more torque on it right here than you can sideways.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So like this one, go back on that one level and get a little bit more on it. See how you can get a little bit more?
Oh, yeah, yeah, cool.
And put that one back level. There you go. Yep. And so from here, you still just try to jump across. Make sure you get them all. But once you get your first 4 or 8, or the pattern isn't that important. But
Cool.
any questions? Pretty simple.
No, super cool. Thank you.
You got 2 more blocks out of the deal too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna throw those in your box. You're taking those home.
Cool. And then let's try the spare tire.
Yep.
Let me do it and see if I do it correctly. Oh yeah. Put it in here.
So where's the valve?
Here?
Yep.
I put it to lower here.
So it's nice
It's
and
firm?
firm. Yep. And do you remember why we're doing that?
Yeah, because otherwise it would fall down when I'm.
Faster, yeah. We're essentially just filling that cylinder full of oil so that it can come down and slow and control. If there's no oil in there, it'll come down faster.
Okay.
Go to lower, and the first few pumps are the firmest in both directions. So the first few pumps will take it a minute.
To lower or raise?
We want to lower it. We want to lower. I mean, we're raising, but we want to lower it off the truck. I know it's in there, but.
Okay.
And then remember, once we get to that fulcrum balance point, you have your hand on this valve ready to move it to the middle to stop it. And then once it's falling, you just control the rest of the way with the valve.
Getting close?
Right about one more little pump. Right about there.
Oh, okay.
And then to lower it, you just need to crack it this way just slowly. Yep, just a little bit. So if you imagine that tire up and down by yourself, or even with your wife, or your boys could probably help you, but it'd be a better getting that thing down, putting the other one back up. Now, getting down's easy, it's putting your other one back up. That's the hard part. So, and it'll just drop. Yep. And then to there, you get your star wrench out. Pull those 2. You want to pull it off here?
No.
Okay.
And then I just roll it.
Roll it. And then if you need, like when you're putting it back on, if you need to raise this a little bit, without the tire, it's fairly easy to move this, manipulate it, but the tricky part's lining up. Lining up those studs.
Oh, okay.
So you have to twist it and line it up as you're lifting a little bit. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so when you go back up, you gotta feel the other side of the wheel again. So prime both ways again. That's good and firm. Now go back the other way. Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Now you should be able to go to raise, and then the first few pumps on raise are going to be firm again.
Oh, yeah.
I know electric's easier, but this is more reliable and solid state. That pump will never fail. That pump is made in Italy. Unless you don't like Italians.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about Italian engineering. Fiats are not that reliable, are they?
So you got a little ways yet, but again, be ready to catch that. And this is coming this way, so I mean,
Yeah.
you're nice and clear, but oh, you got it.
Okay.
See, there's a little bit of air in there.
Yeah.
That you heard that in that fell that little bit there first on its own. So
Okay.
you're about there, and it will come down on its own right there if you want. So unlatch that just real quick.
Yeah.
And you just see, without that latched, you'll see that this will move a little bit.
Yeah,
It's got
okay.
some wobble to it. Now latch that up. But if you see that that's loose, then it tightens it up for you. So.
Okay.
And if that wears, or
Yeah, I can tighten
can
the...
adjust those.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Cool!
you feel good about that?
Yeah, it's super helpful.
I know
Thank
that's hard for somebody that's never done a hydraulics or never seen anything like that, but
you. Yeah,
it's a reliable
yeah.
system.
No, super helpful.
Yeah.
Cool. Very nice.